We are going to talk about some types of fish that seniors should never eat under any circumstances. This is very important because I have seen many seniors with poor health who refuse to listen to medical advice simply because they want to eat what they like. And as a professional caregiver, it drives me crazy because sometimes it asks those foods that are making them sick in the first place. Now, we can take advantage of food technology, health technology, and the evolution of laboratory studies for food safety. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. Also, please be sure to eat healthy and stay safe during these unprecedented times. The first type of fish that I'm talking about today is something you probably didn't even know existed. I had no idea they were actually a thing until a client of mine insisted on eating them, and that would be Japanese pufferfish, also known as fugu. Now, if you don't know already, the Japanese pufferfish contains tetrodotoxin, which is a powerful neurotoxin that can cause paralysis and in some cases death. And there is no known antidote for this poison. In fact, according to the FDA, the majority of deaths from pufferfish poisoning happened in Japan when people ate illegally prepared pufferfish at home. The only people who should consume this fish are people who have had special training on how to prepare it. And even then, someone could still die from eating it. So definitely one of the fish that I don't recommend anyone eating, especially seniors. The next fish on my list is another specialty fish that you may or may not have heard of, called blue-ringed octopus. Now, this fish is so dangerous that in Australia alone, there are around 200 bites every year. And the bite is extremely painful. But that's not the worst part. The venom from this fish is considered a killer among octopi, because its venom is strong enough to kill an adult human. In fact, there has only been one anti-venom developed for this, and it's only available in Australia. So if you plan on going out into the ocean anytime soon, keep an eye out for this particular fish. The third fish that I'm talking about today is actually a whole category of fish that have small bones in their flesh. And this can be very dangerous for the elderly because swallowing the small bones can lead to choking. Choking is the fourth leading cause of injury-related deaths in the United States. And it accounts for almost 5,000 deaths each year. And this is especially dangerous for the elderly who already have difficulty swallowing due to age-related changes. So here's a list of fish that have small bones that should be avoided by seniors. The next fish that I'm talking about today is one that many people actually enjoy, but it's something that I always tell my clients to avoid. It's king mackerel. See, king mackerel can contain high levels of mercury, which is a dangerous chemical element that can damage the brain, heart, and kidneys. In pregnant women and young children, exposure to high levels of mercury can even affect the development of the nervous system. And since our bodies cannot get rid of mercury on their own, the only way to lower the levels of mercury in the body is to eat foods that contain antioxidants, like vitamin C and E. So if you plan on eating king mackerel, be sure to pair it with foods that have plenty of antioxidants. But honestly, there are other types of fish that I recommend much more than mackerel, for the simple fact that it is not as tasty. Another fish that I don't recommend for seniors is shark. Sharks have very high levels of protein and fat, which can be good for most people. However, for those with high blood pressure or high cholesterol, consuming large amounts of shark meat can be unhealthy. And since many seniors category, I just don't think it's worth the risk. In addition, the texture of shark meat can be quite tough and dry, which can make it difficult for the elderly to chew and swallow. So because of the high cholesterol and the toughness of the meat, I'm going to put shark on my do not eat list. Now, this next fish is one that most people don't realize is actually poisonous, and that would be raw fish. According to the FDA, raw fish can contain harmful bacteria, parasites, and viruses that can make us very sick. That's why it's always recommended to cook fish thoroughly before eating. The only time this isn't true is when you're eating sashimi. But you definitely don't want to be eating sashimi at an old age. In fact, when preparing food for seniors, it's important to cook it thoroughly to reduce the risk of foodborne illness. Foodborne illness is a leading cause of hospitalization in older adults, and it's important to remember that as we age, our immune systems become weaker. It's making us more susceptible to getting sick from food. So please remember to always cook your fish thoroughly to prevent foodborne illness. And finally, the last fish that I'm talking about today is actually another category of fish that I'm lumping together. This would include any fish that comes from polluted waters. Fish can easily absorb pollutants and toxins from their environment, which means they can be a great source of nutrition, or they can be a major source of health problems. These are known as heavy metals. Heavy metals are dangerous substances that can cause serious health problems if consumed in large amounts. Lead, mercury, and arsenic are examples of heavy metals, and these can accumulate in fish over time, making them unsafe to eat. Most fish advisories are issued because of mercury contamination. High levels of mercury in the body can lead to a variety of health problems such as tremors, numbness, difficulty speaking, and even vision problems. For seniors, it's especially important to avoid fish that are high in mercury because it can make pre-existing conditions worse. So to avoid any potential health issues, it's best to stick with fish that come from clean and unpolluted waters. So those are the 7 types of fish that I believe seniors should never eat under any circumstances. But you see, as we age, it's important to be mindful of the foods that we eat because certain foods can cause health problems, and fish is no exception. But the good news is that there are plenty of other types of fish that are both delicious and nutritious. So if you are a senior citizen or you're caring for someone who is, I strongly suggest avoiding the fish that I talked about today. Instead, opt for other types of fish that are easier to prepare and have fewer health risks. By doing so, you can continue to enjoy the benefits of fish without putting your health at risk. If you found my video helpful, please let me know by leaving a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.